Hello everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. If you're a parent or guardian navigating the educational landscape here in Michigan, you know that figuring out preschool rules can sometimes feel like trying to solve a really complicated puzzle. But right now, we are looking at a massive, exciting update to how early education works in the state. Today, we're breaking down Michigan's new preschool rules and transforming all that complex bureaucratic language into a clear, easy-to-follow guide for your family. Okay, let's dive into this and get you completely prepared for the upcoming school year.
Here is your eligibility roadmap for the 2025-26 school year. We've broken this down into 5 easy sections: the pre-K for all shift, the magic number 4, income versus priority, beyond just income, and finally, your enrollment action plan. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the pre-K for all shift, a major update. This is our first major milestone, setting up a truly big change in Michigan's preschool policy. At the heart of the matter for the 2025-26 school year is this: enrollment is open to all families, regardless of income, and this brilliantly illustrates a monumental shift. If you've looked into state-funded preschool in the past, you might be used to strict income-only gateways. Situations where if you made $1 over a certain limit, you were literally just entirely out of luck. Well, that barrier, it's being removed. Free pre-K is becoming a reality for families across the board, which makes eligibility way broader than many parents expect right now. But when the state says pre-K for all, what exactly does that mean? The most important thing to know is that pre-K in Michigan actually refers to more than just one single program. It's a broad, inclusive umbrella. It covers the Great Start Readiness Program, or GSRP, alongside Head Start, developmental kindergarten, and early childhood special education. Now, out of all these, GSRP is the primary state-funded option, specifically designed for 4-year-olds. So when you're applying, you're really tapping into a whole network of options under this one big initiative.
Which brings us to Section 2, the magic number 4, age requirements. Because while the income rules are definitely relaxing, the age rules are very specific. Let's look at the checkpoints your child has to pass. So the crucial point is 4. For the Great Start Readiness Program, the key age rule is pretty simple in theory. Children must be exactly 4 years old by the state's specific cutoff date. This is basically the central anchor for the entire state-funded preschool system in Michigan. To put that into practical terms for the upcoming cycle, Michigan's current guidance states that a child who will turn 4 before December 1, 2025 should be connected with a local intermediate school district, an ISD, for the 2025-26 school year. The state identifies GSRP as the primary state-funded pre-K program for kids who hit this exact milestone. But hey, a quick note of caution here. While December 1st is absolutely the date to circle on your calendar right now, always verify the exact cutoff for the specific year you're applying. Enrollment windows and school year dates can and occasionally do shift around. Now, let's clear up a really common point of parent confusion. Pre-K is absolutely not the same as kindergarten, and their age rules are totally distinct. While pre-K requires a child to be 4 years old by December 1, Michigan's kindergarten guidance says children may enroll if they're 5 years old by September 1. This distinction matters immensely for your family's planning. Depending on your child's birth date and these cutoff dates, they might be eligible for GSRP 1 year and then kindergarten the very next. If you're ever unsure which one to apply for, just check your child's age against these specific cutoff dates first. Moving right along to Section 3, income versus priority. Who gets a seat first? We need to tackle the financial aspect head-on, because while we've established the system is open to all, there's still a priority system in place that we really need to understand. Yes, the program is open to all families, but, and this is a highly important but, priority placement heavily favors households with greater need. So a family may be perfectly eligible even if they aren't low income. However, if seats are limited, the state still uses income bands tied to federal poverty levels to determine priority. The guidelines for fiscal year 2026 and 2026-2027 show that these federal poverty levels still dictate who actually gets a seat first. Income still matters in the grand scheme of things. It's just no longer the only gateway to getting access to these programs. Let's move to Section 4, beyond just income, and see how this builds. We've talked about the financial side, but Michigan's eligibility goes way deeper than just your tax return. Michigan evaluates a whole variety of at-risk factors. Your child might qualify for GSRP based on developmental concerns, specific family circumstances, a diagnosed developmental delay, or if they have an individualized education program, an IEP. This is a wonderfully inclusive approach. It basically means a child can qualify through multiple different pathways. If your child has a disability-related support plan or other risk factors, you absolutely want to bring this up with your provider to see how these factors are reviewed for placement. Seeing those developmental factors might make you wonder, is pre-K the exact same thing as special education? It's a great question, and honestly, one that trips up a lot of families navigating the system for the very first time. Now, what's really interesting about this is how these two systems are separate, yet they work together beautifully. In Michigan, special education services are available from birth all the way through age 25, and access is determined by formal evaluations. That is technically separate from general pre-K enrollment. However, they can beautifully overlap. A child who qualifies for early childhood special education might actually receive those services right inside a regular preschool setting. Those services just become part of their broader pre-K experience. And remember, if you ever suspect a developmental delay, you have the absolute right to ask for an evaluation through your school system. Finally, we reach Section 5, your Enrollment Action Plan. We've covered the rules, the dates, and the definitions. Now let's translate all of that state guidance into the practical steps you need to take right now. First up, where do you actually find these programs? Remember, Pre-K for All isn't just one type of building. You might find your child's classroom in a local school district, through your intermediate school district, inside a community-based early childhood center, or through a federal Head Start provider. Because availability varies wildly by county and district, your very best move is to contact your local ISD early. Seriously, do not wait, especially if you're trying to secure a seat for the super busy fall season. And when you do make that contact, you want to be ready. Because the system is much more flexible now than the old income-only model, they're going to look at a variety of factors. Be prepared with proof of your child's birth date, basic household information, income details for that priority placement we discussed, and, crucially, any records related to developmental needs or special education services. Having these documents in hand is going to save you time, prevent headaches, and really help you avoid delays during the busy enrollment season. Always ask the provider exactly what they need before you apply.
So here is the absolute bottom line for Michigan parents looking ahead to 2026. Step 1, check your child's age against that December 1st cutoff. Step 2, confirm which program you're applying to and whether any income or at-risk priority factors apply to your household. Step 3, gather all those necessary documents we just talked about. And Step 4, contact your local ISD or approved provider to verify all the details and officially start the process. It's an actionable, simple checklist to help you navigate a much more inclusive system.
The doors are opening wider than ever before in Michigan, with free pre-K available to all families and a system designed to prioritize those who genuinely need it most. So the only question left is, are you ready to contact your local ISD and secure your child's free pre-K spot for the 2025-26 school year? Don't wait for the deadlines to sneak up on you. Grab those documents, make that call, and get your child's educational journey started on the right foot. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy learning!